Hello and welcome to Death of Raven Gaming. Today, as every Wednesday, we are playing Marvel Champions LCG by Fantasy Flight Games, and we are randomizing hero, aspect, villain, and modular encounter. And hello, Herver's home. Nice to see you back. And as usual, we're gonna start with randomizing heroes. So, who are we playing this week? We are playing Spider-Woman. That is very exciting. So for the people who doesn't know, Spider-Woman actually, when you build your deck, you choose two aspects, and you have to include an equal number of cards from the aspects. So actually today we are randomizing two aspects instead of one. So let's see what we get. The first aspect we are going to do with Spider-Woman is leadership. That's nice. I know for a fact that she's actually very good with leadership. And what's the second I'm just gonna do so I can remove... okay, it doesn't want to let me. So if we just get leadership again, we'll just randomize again. So, what's the second aspect we're gonna do? Justice! Why did that go so slow? Okay. But, anyway, I don't know. But we're gonna do Justice anyway. Which means we have Justice here, who is a smaller pile. Sadly, we haven't gotten the new Venom yet, which has a lot more good Justice characters. But who is Spider-Woman facing? Spider-Woman is up against Green Goblin, with specifically Green Goblin Risky Business. Okay. And Green Goblin Risky Business has one modular encounter set, which means we're gonna randomize that one. And who's helping Norman Osborn is Galactic Artefacts. Okay. Okay. So somehow Green Goblin probably Norman Osborn, who just bought the collection to get the Galactic Artifacts. 6, 7, 8, 9. There we have the Galactic Artifacts. I'm just gonna bring back the first Norman Osborn, because we're playing Expert as usual. It's quite thematic as Spider-Woman is facing Osborn. Anyway, so when we start deck building as usual, we're just gonna go through Spider-Woman's cards. Spider-Woman is the first character they did that really changed how you're allowed to build your decks. I'm just gonna sleeve. Actually, the rest of Spider-Man was already sleeved, luckily enough. I actually have a couple of my heroes already sleeved, if I'm lucky to randomize into them. And then I have sleeves enough to sleeve entire deck except that. So luckily it was one of the ones that I already have sleeved. So Spider-Woman. As said, her alter ego is Jessica Drew. 3 recovery, double agent. Choose 2 aspects instead of 1 during deck building. You must include an equal number of cards for those aspects in your deck. And then action, look at the top card of any deck. Limited once per phase. Once per round? Once per round, it doesn't really do any difference, but once per round. She only has 1 thwart, 1 attack, and 1 defense, which is usually very, very bad. But she has a superhuman agility. Interrupt. When you play an aspect card, Spider-Woman gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, +1 defense until the end of the round, limited once per round for each aspect. Which means, so once for justice, once for leadership, once for aggression, and once for... Hi Anna, nice to see you! Or nice to see you in chat at least. She has 11 health and 6 hand size on Jessica Drew and 5 of Spider-Woman. So let's go through her signature cards. I'm just gonna remove those there. Her signature cards is... Her signature ally is Captain Marvel. 4-cost ally, Carol Danvers, of course. 2 thwart, 2 attack. 3 health Avenger. After Captain Marvel uses a basic power, draw a card. So after she thwarts or attacks, you get to draw a card. So you're gonna get to draw 3 cards for this card. It's a great signature ally. Then you have 2 finesses, or finesse. 2-cost upgrade, condition. Hero resource, exhaust, finesse, generate a star resource for an aspect card. Great, because you want to use, as I said, you have a lot of aspects, so it's all leadership and all justice, you can do that. Then you have Jessica Drew's apartment. 1-cost support, location, alter ego action. Exhaust Jessica Drew's apartment, search the top 5 cards of your deck for an aspect card and add it to your hand. Then shuffle your deck. And then we have 2 Venom Blast, which looks a little bit different. It's a 2-cost event, attack, soup power, hero action, deal 5 damage to an enemy. And the reason why this one looks more like an aggression card is because this card is both a Spider-Woman card and an aggression card. And the important part about that is that it's actually an aspect card. So finesse can pay for it, and it actually activates her ability on aggression. And of course, she has 2 already for leadership here, which is 2-cost event for pheromones, soup power, stun and confuse an enemy. As a hero action, this card is both a Spider-Woman card and a leadership card. Just a great one. The protection one is a 2-cost event, contaminant immunity. Hero action, heal 3 damage from Spider-Woman and give her a tough status card. And then of course it's a protection card as well. The justice card is inconspicuous. Inconspicuous. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think that second one was right. It's a skill thwart. Hero action, remove a total of 3 threat from among schemes in play, and of course it's a justice card as well as a Spider-Woman card. And then she has 3 self-propelled glide. It's a 1-cost event, superpower, ready Spider-Woman, and she gains aerial until the end of the round. Okay. So Spider-Woman is actually quite interesting in how you build her. So actually we're just gonna quickly look forward here. We're gonna look on Osborn. So there's a solid 7 minions in this deck and a lot of side schemes. And I know for a fact that Galactic Artefacts have a lot of attachment and also a lot of side schemes. So we want a focus. So actually, I already know one of the allies we're gonna get. So, I'm gonna put these in ally, resource generation, attack, heal, what I call crowd control, thwart. This one doesn't really matter. This one is just to activate herself, really. So I'm gonna just... That's just a nice... Okay, so one ally I already know I want is Jessica Jones. She's a 3-cost ally. 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health. But Jessica Jones gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play. So she is a strong justice... justice ally. It's very interesting that we have to have an equal amount. So I'm actually probably gonna... Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just bring this all up to one pile. And it's more important right now to keep a track of how many justice cards and how many leadership cards. And of course, I'm just gonna do this. We actually just have 16 cards in our deck right now. But, okay. So... it's really fun, because all of a sudden we can do stuff, combos on characters that you usually can't really do. So what I was gonna do was okay, I'll show you what I'm even doing here. No. So I'm just gonna go through what I know I want here. I want an heroic intuition it's just your hero gets +1 thwart. It's just a solid one. I really want Sense of Justice. It's another resource generator. They generate a mental resource for thwart events. I'm gonna do Skilled Investigator. After a side scheme is defeated, exhaust Skilled Investigator, draw a card. Because there's a lot of side schemes, we already know that. I'm gonna put an Under Surveillance, which is a 2-cost upgrade, which is attached to the main scheme, max 1 per scheme. Increase the threat value of attached scheme by 4. It's really a good card when we're playing solo, because then 4 is a lot usually. So what I'm gonna actually check right now is I'm gonna throw in the basic standard 5 I always put in. I put in Endurance to give +3 hit points, Downtime to get +2 recovery. So just when you're playing solo, they're great cards to have to just... you don't want to stay too long in Alter Ego form in solo. And then of course the Genius, Strength and Energy. So there we have 5 more. So we have at least 5 cards. I mean, we're going to have a lot more from Justice, but we're just going to go through... or we're going to have probably up to 5 more. But I'm going to just look through here what we want. I want Yondu, just so I have a pinger when those... it's a 4-cost ally, 2 thwart, 1 attack, but no consequential damage. So as long as he attacks, he's always gonna stay out. He has 2 health, and he ignores Retaliate with his attacks. It's just great. I think I'm gonna put him, and I am going to put Iron Man out. Actually, a sheep ally would be nice. I have a lot of 4-cost allies. I'm gonna put an Ant-Man, 0-cost ally, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 0 health. He gets +1 hit points for each PIM counter on him, and you can overpay for him. And every resource you overpay for him, you get 1 PIM counter, which is 1 health, up to maximum of 4. So he can be like an ace of whatever you need. I might actually just focus on maybe even have... wait. Right now I have 4 allies. It's quite difficult. Leadership and Justice together. I haven't played Leadership and Justice together, so I'm just thinking like, what do I want in there? Oops. That was a United We Stand. I don't just want like it's not like just allies I want, but that's kind of what you want when you're playing leadership. So I'm gonna probably throw in Iron Man. So that's 3 more with those 3. And probably Ronan as well, which is a 3-cost ally. Iron Man is a 4-cost ally. 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health. Reduce the cost to play each upgrade in Iron Man by 1. And since I think all upgrades for allies are costed as 1, it's free on him. Ronan is a 3-cost ally. 1 thwart, 2 attack, 3 health. But when Ronin gets plus 1 thwart and plus 1 attack, while an upgrade is attached to them. Which is good, because we're going to want some upgrades in this deck. And we're going to want team training, which is all allies get plus 1 health. I should be on that. And we can't put comms implants. I think I'm gonna try to have 5 of each aspect more than if I'm gonna see if we're gonna add another basic, who knows. But 2 inspired, attached to an ally, max 1 per ally, attached ally gets plus 1 thwart and plus 1 attack. Reinforced suit. Attached to an ally, max 1 per ally, attached ally gets plus 2 hit points. I'm gonna put 1 Sky Cycle in. Attached to an Avenger ally, max 1 per ally, attached ally gets aerial. And exhaust Sky Cycle, ready attached ally. And I think that's all I'm gonna do on that side of the thing. So let's add 5 more Justice cards. So let's see here, because meh. Since there's gonna be a lot. Would you explain aerial? Yes. So aerial is generally just a trait, like Avenger or Spy that she has. It doesn't do anything except some cards like refer to it. Like it literally did 0 things. It's fine if you can't spell. It literally did 0 things, almost 0 things, until Star-Lord came out, where he released a card for each aspect that looked like kind of like this, which is play only if your identity has the aerial trait. And it's a good card. Remove a total up to 5 threat from among schemes as you choose. So, except these cards, it doesn't really do any difference. It's just that I know the leadership's card once you're is like a buff if all your allies are aerials, or like the more allies you have that are aerial are like, I can even show it just because you're asking about it. It is called Air Supremacy. 2-cost event, aerial tactic. Choose up to X enemies, where X is equal to the number of aerial characters you control. Deal 3 damage to each chosen enemy. So yeah, it's a trait like Avenger, Guardian, Vehicle, which this one has, that doesn't do anything unless something is pointing out something about it. So I hope that answered your question. I hope I explained it well. And yeah, so let's see here. I'm gonna add 2 cleared area, because we have a lot of side schemes against this villain. It's one cost event, thwart, remove 2 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat on that scheme, draw a card. I'm going to play multitasking, actually, which is a 1 cost event. Remove hero action, thwart, remove 2 threat from a scheme. If you paid for this card using a mental resource, remove 2 threat from a different scheme. Which means they have 1 slot left, unless I want to put in another Sky Cycle, which I kinda interested in doing, actually. And what I'm gonna add is I'm gonna add no. Let's try and not be hit as hard. So let's put 2 foiled. 0 cost event. When a boost card is turned face up during a scheme activation, cancel its boost icon. Or actually, no. Now that I think about it, no, it's better just to be able to confuse, like a little bit more confusion or. See here, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? We want a little bit more of damage, I think. So I'm gonna put in 2 Turn the Tide. 0 cost event, after your hero thwarts and remove all threat from a scheme, deal 3 damage to that enemy. To an enemy. And then I was just gonna add another Sky Cycle to make them even. Which means we're up to 41, I think. If we just 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yes, so now we have 11 of each here. We have 5 here. We're up to 42, actually. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 42, yeah. And there's actually 1 more card I'm gonna put in the deck. And that is, I'm gonna put 2 Honorary Avengers. 0 cost upgrade. Play only if your identity has the Avenger trait. Attached to a friendly character. Attached character gets +1 hit points and gains the Avenger trait. Which means I can put Sky Cycles on, for example, Yondu. Which is kind of what I want. Because that's going to be some more attacking. Or if I want to do it on Jessica Jones to get a little bit more of... Yeah. And I remember we didn't go through the obligation, which we always do. So, uncertain loyalties. Give this to Jessica Drew player, which I am the Jessica Drew player. You may flip to alter ego form. Choose. Exhaust Jessica Drew. Remove uncertain loyalties from the game. Or place 3 threats on the main scheme. Discards obligation. Generally, when you're playing a lot of people, it doesn't do that often. But 3 threat is quite a lot when you're playing solo. So, yeah. Let's see here. Starts the fun part with me sleeving the deck. So, recently I know at least 3 people in chat today wasn't here last week. So I just wanted to inform that I've started to look into other games to be able to do videos on. And specifically Arkham Horror LCG by Fancy Flight Games. And since that one is... You can't really randomize anything, so it's just going to be me building a deck and then play through a campaign. I'm thinking that it's not as fun to watch in a live stream. So I'm actually thinking of trying to venture out into actual recording videos. And I was wondering if that would be something you would be interested in, or you would just be like, nah, I wasn't gonna watch it, but like, cause I really getting into the game, and I was really thinking. I mean, I have barely played, cause I kind of want to be a noob on it when I start playing. But yeah, no. So that was the plan. I've gotten a bit of expansions for it to be able to stream it, and it doesn't take like much more space than I have now. So it works in my setup as I have it right now. So yeah. So that was my plan. I started talking about it last week. But yeah, no, so I'm not gonna have streams. I'm still gonna stream every week. Every Wednesday I'm gonna stream Marvel Champions. But probably during the week in between those streams, I'm gonna release a video of a chapter in the campaign for Arkham Horror LCG. And I'm also thinking of possibly, depending on how much time I have and how much I enjoy I'm really enjoying doing these lives. I love having chat with me and being able to talk to someone when I do this. But I'm also considering trying to record just a video of me playing Champions, maybe to do specifically like the campaign boxes, like Rise of Red Skull or Galactic's Most Wanted. So yeah, there's something else I'm thinking about doing. If you guys would be interested in it, you can write it in chat. You don't have to. I'm still gonna do it and see how it's like. If I like it, I'm gonna continue doing it. If no one watches it and I like it, I'm still gonna continue doing it. If someone watches and I like it, I'm probably gonna be able to do it even more, because I'm gonna be able to put even more time into it. But yeah, so this is our decks. So let's go here and set up. We have the Encounter deck. First we have Norman Osborn. I know I haven't gone through here a bit. We have Criminal Enterprises. And we have Hostile Takeover. So the thing with this scenario is that it's kind of puts into the play that Norman Osborn and the Green Goblin necessarily is not the same person. That they're kind of dissociative from each other. And very like alter egos to each other. So the way this works is that we have something called Criminal Enterprises here. And it's gonna enter play with 2 infamy counters. And we cannot hurt Norman Osborn at all. Like, you cannot. When we damage... I'm just gonna... like that. When we damage Norman Osborn, we remove that many infamy counters from Criminal Enterprise instead. And when Criminal Enterprise have no infamy counters, we flip Norman Osborn to Green Goblin. And there we can attack him. And he can attack us. But when he schemes here... he removes madness counters from State of Madness. And when there's no there, he flips back. In Norman Osborn mode, he can't attack. He just puts more infamy counters on here. So it's a very interesting scenario that I really, really enjoy myself to play. So he starts in Norman Osborn. And we're gonna read the story here. Norman Osborn holds a board meeting, plotting to take over a branch of Stark Industries. Okay, so it starts with 2 threat per player, which is 1 player, and we place 1 per player infamy counts on Criminal Enterprise. So we start with 3, Then discard 1 card for each player deck for each infamy counter on criminal. So that's actually it's when completed. I just blind. So let's start here. We start, of course, as Jessica Drew. I know I say this every week, but for the people who don't know, the way I shuffle my cards is I take the top card and the bottom card at the same time with 2 different fingers, and just do this, just to split them up a little bit before doing some regular shuffling. It's just a way to get a pretty randomized sequence to start with. And I don't have 42 health. I have 11 health. Okay. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see what cards we begin with. And we start with Self-Propelled Glide, Sky Cycle, Jessica Drew's Apartment, Clear the Area, Inconspicuous, and Heroic Intuition. Okay. That's actually, I'm gonna mulligan some stuff here. Or am I? I am not gonna do that. I'm just gonna stay here. So, okay. Let's do this. Let's see if we can win a second week in a row. So I can finally show you Lucifer. It was funny that we won the time I couldn't show Lucifer. So let's see. I'm going to use the action here to look at the top card of any deck. And what I'm going to look at the top card of, I'm going to look at the top card of the encounter deck. It is placement. It's going to be +1 scheme and an infamy counter. Okay. Oh, well, actually, he doesn't do that, so I know Private Security Specialist is there whenever it does. So it's a 1. I'm going to forget that, but hey, I've done it now. And then I'm going to flip. And then I didn't want to play Jessica Drew's Apartment immediately. I'm gonna throw away Jessica Drew's Apartment to play Clear the Area. No, Anna, you didn't miss Lucy. I won, but I was at Herver's Home's place and took care of their cats. So I couldn't show Lucy when I won. Otherwise, Anna, you can just come over to see Lucy, but yeah, it's nice to see him on stream. Clear the area. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat in that scheme, draw a card. And we only have 2 threat on the scheme, which means I get to draw a card. And we start another Self-Propelled Glide. And since that's a Justice card, I get a +1/+1/+1 to everything. And what I'm gonna do is I don't really want to flip him, so it's better that I spend time to like build up a little bit. So yeah, I'm gonna throw away Sky Cycle and Inconspicuous. Inconspicuous. This is gonna be difficult for me all evening. Anyway, those 2 to play Heroic Intuition, which gives me +1 thwart. And yeah, I mean, so I'm just not gonna do anything, sadly, because I really don't want to flip him right away, because I want to build up a little bit more. So we're gonna finish our turn there. So let's drop to 5, reinforce suit, Ronin, and energy. That's actually quite nice. Yeah. Which means it is a villain phase. We get 1 threat here because per player. Then when Norman Osborn would attack, place 2 infamy counters on criminal enterprises instead. Like that. And then we get an encounter set, which we know is a private security specialist with guard. So yeah. He can attack me though. Also, that one has disappeared now. I'm gonna throw away self-propelled glide and energy to play Ronan, which is a leadership card. And then I might wait 1 turn to upgrade Ronan. But it's nice to it doesn't really do any difference. That's why I'm thinking about. He's only gonna deal 1 damage to me anyway. So yeah, Spider-Woman is attacking private security specialist for 2, and I'm just gonna wait turn. No, I'm actually gonna throw away self-propelled glide to give him a reinforced suit, which means he's now 2/3 with +2 hit points because he has his ability. So untap everything, draw up to 5 cards. We get Turn Tide, Multitasking, Venom Blast, Sense of Justice, and Self-Propelled Glide. So let's see the villain phase. 1 threat. Norman Osborn is doing some infamy counters. He is attacking me though for 1 damage, which I'm going to take easily. And then we get an encounter card, which is another private security specialist. Nice. And that one disappears. So I'm actually going to throw away Multitasking and Venom Blast. Sadly, to play Sense of Justice to have our resource generator out. And then I'm going to, which is actually a Justice card. Then I'm gonna tap her to remove the 2 threats on here, which is the last threats, which means I can play Turn the Tide. After your hero thwarts and remove all threats from a scheme, deal 3 damage to an enemy. And I'm dealing 3 damage to him. And then I'm tapping Ronan to kill 1 of the private security specialists. And that was our turn, so let's untap. Sky Cycle, Strength, Genius, Team Training. Okay, that wasn't too crazy of a thing, but I mean, yeah. Okay, villain phase, +1 threat. He's gonna do a little bit infamy there. Private specialist attacks me for 1, which I'm gonna take. Encounter card, which is Payoff. It's a side scheme, which means I get another encounter card actually. It also starts with 2 here, and plays 1 infamy count. So it's just Payoff. It's just an extra encounter card, which is a hired gun. When revealed, choose to either give the villain 1 face down boost card or place 2 infamy counts on Criminal Enterprise. We're gonna actually put 2 infamy counter on the Criminal Enterprise because I think we're actually gonna start hitting him a bit now, so we can actually come by that. He's quite annoying, but he's fine. Which means it is our turn. That one is gone. I'm spending Genius to play Team Training to give everyone +1 health. I'm using Spider-Woman to kill the private security specialist. Also, since I played Team Training, she gets 1 of her counters here. I'm just using those to mark that it's +1, +1, +1 already. And it is because of leadership. I wish I had colored ones, but I don't so far. I'm throwing away Sky Cycle to play Self-Propelled Glide, which means I get to ready her. Ronin uses their 3 attack to remove Hired Gun. Take a damage on themselves. Spider-Woman taps with her 3 thwart. Oh god, I'm at 3 thwart to remove Payoff, which means I'm quite set for next turn. Let's go back here. Let's untap everything. Restore up to 5 multitasking, contaminant immunity, under surveillance, and pheromones. Villain phase, 1 threat here. He tries to attack, but he puts 2 infamy counters, and it's starting to become way too many infamy counters here. And it's an encounter card. All in a work state, place 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. And then, like, if you cannot, like, if it wasn't Criminal Enterprise, you would remove 2 Madness counters from State of Madness. But yeah, so now that's starting to be a big pile of shields that you have there. That's fine. So let's start hitting a bit. Or actually not. I'm probably not gonna hit a bit. Actually, yeah, I'm going to hit, but just which. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to. That one is gone. I'm gonna tap Sense of Justice to play multitasking, which removes 2 threat from a scheme. And since I paid for it with a mental resource, I could remove 2 threat from another scheme, but I don't have another scheme to remove 2 threat from. And then I'm going to play Strength. Use also playing multitasking. Oh, give me one of these. Play Strength to play Pheromones, which lets me stun and confuse an enemy, which is obviously going to be Norman Osborn. So yes, both stunned and confused. And that's a leadership card, which means I get another one of these. So I have 3/3/3 in everything right now. And if I had one more card, I could have got up to 4/4/4. But I cannot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit for 3 on him to remove 3 here. And Ronan also hits for 3 to remove another one of these. And we're just going to have to do this slowly. Actually, I'm going to flip back to Alter Ego because he is stunned, so he's not going to thwart me, scheme me too bad. And that means I get to have another card in my hand, which would be nice. So I'm actually going to do that, which means I'm going to untap everything. 3, 4, 5, 6. That is some nice times, actually. That's actually really, really nice times. Okay. Which means it's the villain phase. 1 threat on a scheme. He tries to scheme, but he is confused. We get an encounter card, which is Assault. This card gains Surge, so we get another encounter card. Obedience Potion attached to your identity. Attached character get -1 of everything. And I can take a damage to spend 2 mental resources to discard this card. That is just annoying. Especially since I don't have 2 in my hand. But yeah. But it's our turn. So we start with flipping back. We have no of those counters anymore. We're throwing away Downtime and Honorary Avenger to play Finesse, which is an exhaust Finesse generate a star resource for an aspect card. Actually, I'm not throwing away Honorary Avenger. Yeah, I'm throwing away Honorary Avenger. I'm using Finesse to play Inspired on him, which gives me one of these, which means I'm a 1/1/1 now, thanks to the Obedience Potion. But I mean, I'm still gonna hit for 1 on him. And Ronan is gonna hit for 4, actually. Because, you know... Yeah. Because he has a +1/+1/+1, because we added that one, which gives him... He has 2 health left, thanks to his Reinforced Suit and Team Training. Which means that was our turn. We're gonna untap everything. We're gonna draw up to 3, 4, 5. Yondu is there, I see. So, villain face, +1 threat here, +2 there, and then encounter card, which is exhaustion, exhaust our identity, and surge. The next one is Hujadarian Monarch Egg, which has an acceleration token symbol here. It has 3 plus, so it's a 5. And when defeated, the player who defeated the scheme may ready their identity. And it's a victory 0, which doesn't do anything. But it's important that a victory card goes to the victory pile, which means it does not get shuffled back into the encounter deck. That is very important. No, it does other stuff when you play Galaxy's Most Wanted. But yeah. So, it is our turn, and we are tapped. I'm thinking... what do I want to do? I really want Yondu to get out, but I'm not going to be able to do that right now. I could get him to flip, but that wouldn't... I won't be able to do anything, which is a problem. So what I'm gonna do is tap Finesse, throw away Ant-Man, and play Under Surveillance to give the main scheme +4. It's the target threat value is +4, so we need 11 now instead of just 7. So it actually buys us some time. And Ronan. Oh, what do we have? Only had one anyway. Ronan is going to thwart, actually. For 3 is their thwart, which means down to 2 there. And yeah, I think that's our turn. Untap everything. Draw 2 more cards. Skilled Investigator. Pheromones. That's a nice card, though. Which means it's the villain face. +2 threat on the main scheme because of the Monarch Egg. And then +2 here. Which also means an encounter card. Which is Collapsing Bridge. Side scheme. It's 2 threat on it. This one means that I can't remove threat from the main scheme before I remove this one. So it's annoying, but not terrible. So, what I'm doing now here is I'm playing Skilled Investigator, which is after a side scheme is defeated, exhaust Skilled Investigator, draw a card. And if... Oh, right. Wait, that's a 1 there. No, I actually have 2 thwart, because I have 3 thwart thanks to that one. Which means -1 gives me 2 thwart. So I'm tapping for 2 thwart to remove 2 here. Which means this one, the player who defeated this scheme may ready their identity. And since this is a side scheme, I tap that one to draw a card, which is Honorary Avenger. I'm using Finesse and throwing away Yondu. Oh. All of these cards are so good. Wait. Like, kind of want Yondu out just so I can start pinging down, but it's gonna be nice later, but these are 2 good cards to remove to just play him. So I'm actually gonna throw away Yondu. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna throw away Yondu. Throw away Finesse and Yondu to play Venom Blast. Oh, I thought you stream type because it was quiet and still. Yeah, sorry, I had to think a little bit. Sorry. But I played Venom Blast. Deal 5 damage to an enemy, which would remove all of these except 1, annoyingly. But luckily, thanks to my I'll also give it here. So right now I have 3/3 minus that, so I have 2 in attack here. I'm using that to remove Criminal Enterprise to flip this and Norman Osborn to Green Goblin. Who, when revealed, deal 4 indirect damage to each player. So I'm gonna actually put those 4 damage on myself, sadly. Because Ronan is just too good to do anything about it. I'm gonna play Honorary Avenger on Ronan. He's already an Avenger, so it won't give him the Avenger trait, but it gives him +1 hit points, so he still has 2 hit points left. And then I tap Ronan to attack for 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, so it attacks for 4 on the Green Goblin. Finally, we do some damage to the actual villain. But yeah, so that was our turn. Let's untap everything. Draw up, remove. Well, technically don't remove until after his turn, so we're gonna draw up to 5. 4, 5. Turn to Tide, Inspired Finesse. Okay, well, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do next turn. So what happens is it's the villain's phase. +1 threat here, which means it's up to 5. Also, if you wonder why I could remove that side scheme, that one specifically say I can't remove scheme from the main scheme, not side schemes. And, oh, that was supposed to be a 5 of this. And Green Goblin tries to attack, but he is stunned, which means he doesn't attack, and then we get an encounter card. And the encounter card is a private security specialist with guard. That's fair enough. So, what we do on our turn is we throw away Turn the Tide and Inspired to play Finesse, our second Finesse. And then we're using Ronan's last attack for 4 on the private security specialist because he has guard, which means all this are moved into the discard pile. But since we haven't played any of those yet, I'm gonna tap both Finesses to play Pheromones. Stun and Confuse. an enemy. And then I gotta tap to remove one threat from the side scheme, considering I have the obedience potion still. And I still have one card left. So let's untap everything. Let's draw up to 5. Okay. Jessica Jones, the card I can't pronounce, clear the area, and contaminant immunity, 2 of them. Okay. So, it's the villain phase. 1 threat on the main scheme. I'm not so scared, as it was 7. I would be super scared, but since I have that one, I'm not too scared. So I haven't focused it too bad. He tries to attack me. He is stunned. I get an encounter card. All in the day's work. If you can't place 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise, if you cannot remove 2 madness counters from State of Madness, which makes him flip back into Norman Osborn. Sadly. Okay. So that changes my plans a little bit. So let's see here. So yes, first thing I do is using Finesse to play Clear the Area. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. If this removes the last threat on that scheme, draw a card. It does remove the last threat on that scheme, so I get to draw a card for that. But then I also have Skilled Investigators, which let me draw a card when I defeat the side scheme. So I draw 2 cards in total. I mean, I'm not gonna play Jessica Jones, I feel like. Sadly. I mean, she's good, but I don't have too many side schemes out. So I'm thinking of tapping Finesse to play Inconspicuous. See, I can do it. Remove a total of 3 threats from among schemes in play. I remove 3 threats. And since that was the second, I think, yeah, it was the second, so I only have 1, because it was the second Justice card. I'm gonna throw away Reinforced Suit and Jessica Jones to play Contaminant Immunity. Heal 3 damage from Spider-Woman. And give her a tough status card. And that gives her +2. So now I finally can attack with a, or thwart from a 2. Which I'm going to tap Spider-Woman to thwart. Or I just... Actually, no. I'm gonna flip. And then I heal for 3. Which means I'm on a max health again. With a tough status card. And these 2 are up there. So yeah. Let's untap all of this. Finesse, Kill the Investigator. Just go through. Draw 6 cards. 3, 4. Shuffle this so we get +1 encounter card. Feels like we haven't done anything our entire first run through of the deck. But we have a good build at least. Like, that's what we have. So what we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what we have is Venom Blast, Sky Cycle, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Endurance, and Contaminant Immunity. And I could have looked at that card before, because I have the ability here, so I'm actually going to do that. Okay, it is at the Villain Schemes, which could be a problem. But okay. Too late to do anything about that. Anyway. 1 threat on the main scheme. The villain schemes naturally, but he is confused, and then we get an encounter card. And then we, oh wow, it's the villain schemes. He schemes for 2, 3 only. Which means I'm gonna do that. Which would have been a loss if we didn't have Under Surveillance. And the second card here is Mad Genius. When revealed, Norman Osborn, discard a top card of your deck for each infamy counter on Criminal Enterprise. Which is 2, so we discard Inspired, sadly, and Turn the Tide. Okay, not too bad. Could be way worse stuff. Which means it is our turn again. And now we have some stuff to play with. It's so annoying because the only ones I can remove the obedience potion is Captain Marvel and Iron Man, which I really, really, really want to keep both. Obviously. Which I'm probably not going to do. Anyway. Probably gonna take a punch from him, which is fine. Yeah. I'm gonna take a punch from him. Oh well, I have a tough status card. I'm just totally blind. No. I'm gonna tap Finesses, both Finesse, and throw away Sky Cycle and Venom Blast to play Iron Man. Also first, before that I flip. I have this one for that. And yeah, I mean I'm gonna throw away Captain Marvel to just play Endurance on me, which gives me +3 health. Then I'm gonna thwart away from 1, and he's gonna thwart for 2, which is a total of 3. And that was our turn, so let's untap everything. He's gonna take a damage for that. We draw up to 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. That's a pretty good hand. Anyway. So, it's the villain phase. +1 threat on the main scheme, which means it goes up to 5. He's gonna attack, but it means he takes criminal enterprises tokens, which I'm actually gonna do that. Then we're gonna take an encounter card, which is the Beyonder's Blazers. Attached to the enemy with the highest scheme. It's +1 boost icon and everything. Place 2 threat on the main scheme and spend 2 resources of the same type to discard this card. I'm gonna use both Finesses. Oh no. Kinda wanna upgrade Iron Man for free though, and let Ronan still be in my hand. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. Reduce the cost to play each upgrade an Iron Man by 1. Both these cost 1, so it's 0 in total. Oh, sorry. Which means he gets +1 thwart, +1 attack, and he gets +2 health. So he can actually pack a punch. That's leadership cards, which means he get that. Could still throw away Honor Avenger to play Ronan. Which I'm actually gonna do. I'm using Finesse. on the Revenger to play Ronin. Sorry. A little sneak peek of my token pile, which is a mess. Anyway, Iron Man's got a thwart for 3, which is quite nice, which means there's only 2 threat left on the main scheme. And both Ronin and Spider-Woman is gonna attack, so they attack for a total of 3 together. Because I have 2, but that one gives me -1. And then he has 2. So, and then I'm gonna untap everything, because that was my turn. Drop to 5. Pheromones. Clear the area. Inconspicuous. And Jessica Jones. Okay. Which means it is the villain phase. And main scheme gets +1 threat. Norman Osborn, instead of attacking, he always puts 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise, which is a total of 3. And I get an account card, which is place 4 threat on each side scheme. If there are no side schemes in play, discard card from the top of the encounter deck until a side scheme is discarded, reveal that side scheme. Which means we're gonna see if we can find a side scheme here. Well, it was immediately. And it gives another encounter card. But the player who defeated this scheme may heal 4 damage from their identity. Let's see what the second one is. A hired gun. I choose to either give the villain 1 face down boost card or place 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. I'm gonna give him a boost card. Is what I'm gonna do. And it is our turn. Which means I'm gonna start by playing Inconspicuous. Suspicious. The card I can't pronounce, guys. I don't know why it's so difficult for me. But remove a total of 3 threat from among schemes in play, which means I remove 2, 3 from here. I know I'm not gonna heal when I finish it now, but it's not gonna give me an account card in return, which is more important to be honest. And then I use Finesse to play Clear the Area, remove 2 threat from a scheme. If it removes the last scheme from that scheme, you get to draw a card, which it does. And I get your Skilled Investigator to draw 2 cards instead of 1. Oh. Oof. I'm throwing away Jessica Jones to play Reinforced Suit on Ronin. Also, Ronin should have had 1 damage from last turn. Which means he gets +2 health, and he gets +1 attack and +1 thwart, which is his special ability. And I have only played leadership cards. No, I played Justice and Leadership, which means I have 2 to everything now, because of the Obedience Potion that I can't seem to get away. Actually, Clear the Area, I use Sense of Justice instead of Finesse. That means I could have used this one instead of Jessica Jones to play Reinforced Suit, which would have been quite nice. But what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna remove Contaminant Immunity and use Finesse to play Pheromones. Stun and confuse an enemy. Stunned and confused. Then what I'm gonna do is Ronan with his 3 attack all of a sudden is going to kill this hired gun. I probably should wait a turn now before I do Criminal Enterprises, which means Iron Man with his 3 thwart is going to remove the 3 threat on Hostile Takeover here, the main scheme. I could flip 1 turn to let him scheme since he's confused. And just draw an extra card, which I'm gonna do. So I'll flip to Jessica Drew. And what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna look at the top card of the encounter deck that I'm gonna get. Because of our ability, look at the top card of any deck. The villain schemes. That's... Oof. That's rough. Oops. Don't blame me if this is wrong, guys. This was all your idea, right? Right? Anyway, we untap everything. And we draw up to 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's actually really, really, really good. That's actually really nice. Okay, which means, as we've learned in this game, for us at this stream, obviously the chat's fault. Yeah, that's what I was saying as well, Herver's Home. It's obviously the chat's fault. When I say we get a good hand, we always get totally screwed over by the game. So let's see what happens. One threat on the main scheme. And then he tries to scheme, but he's confused. And then I get this as an encounter card, which is the villain schemes, and he gets 2 boost cards. So it's 3, and place 1 infamy counter here, places 2, so it's only 5. So we're actually fine. So great job, chat. That was totally your play, obviously, that you survived that. Good job. Anyway. So yeah. So actually, what I am going to do, that's a hero resource, but I'm going to throw away Turn the Tide to play Jessica Drew's Apartment. I'm feeling I'm starting to need a bigger playmat when I play this game. Jessica's, I mean, I could probably push these up a little bit more. I'm checking so you guys can see the cards better as well. I mean, you can't read them, but you can see the pictures and read the titles. Anyway, I'm going to tap Jessica Drew's Apartment, which is exhaust Jessica Drew's Apartment. Search the top 5 cards of your deck for an aspect card, and add to your hand and then shuffle your deck. Aspect card. Sky Cycle is an aspect card. Pheromones is an aspect card. Pheromones is a really good aspect card. Sky Cycle is also... He has 6 health left, Iron Man. Or I remove a total of 5 threats. That also would... Well, 4 threats. That also would work. I'm gonna have to thwart. I'm bringing on clear the area, actually. Is what I'm gonna take. And then I shuffle this into here. Then I'm gonna look at the top card of any deck to see what this card does. The Mad Genius, it means... okay, that's annoying, which means I don't want him to flip this turn either, which was my big plan. Or I just take a hit by him. What do you say, guys? Just take a... Yeah, he's not that tough. We can take a hit from him. Let's flip. And we have not played a card that is that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Finesse to play multitasking, remove 2 threat from a... Actually, we're going to use Sense of Justice to play multitasking. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. I could have removed 2 threat from another scheme if there was another scheme, but there isn't. Which means I get +1/+1. I'm actually going to use Ronan to thwart 2 to remove 2 threat from here. Which means Finesse lets me play Clear the Area, which means remove 2 threat from a scheme. And if it's the last threat on that scheme, I get to draw a card, which I can. I can't use Skilled Investigators since it's not like a side scheme. I got Sky Cycle, which I'm immediately upgrading Iron Man with. Which is I can exhaust Sky Cycle to ready an attached ally. Then I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to use Strength to play Venom Blast. Wait, let me see here. I have played this turn. I played Cleared Area multitasking, which is 1. I played Sky Cycle, and I played now Venom Blast. So that's 3. So 3/3/3 now. And I use Venom Blast on him, which means this flips, and he flips, and deal 4 indirect damage to each player. That's gonna go on my tough. I'm gonna take it all because it's gonna go on my tough status card. Is how I'm pretty sure it reads. Otherwise, comments please correct me. But that's how I'm gonna play. And then let's just. Oh, Iron Man is really out of frame right now. Let's just start hitting, I guess. I tap Spider-Woman to deal 3 damage to the villain. I tap Iron Man to deal 3 damage to the villain. I tap Sky Cycle to untap Iron Man to tap Iron Man to deal 3 damage. And yes, I know it's called exhaust in this game, but I'm so used to playing Magic the Gathering when I used to do that. I call it tapping all the time. So that's all I'm gonna do, and he has 1 health left thanks to team training. Because he has 3 plus 2 from Reinforced Suit and then 1 per team training. But yeah, which means I'm gonna be able to untap here. So the Justice. Jessica's Drew's apartment. Let's drop to 5/2. Card I can't pronounce. Honorary Avenger. Self-propelled glide. Pheromones. That's actually not terrible. That's actually quite good. Which means it is the villain's phase. And it's 1 threat on the main scheme. He tries to attack, but he is stunned, which means you get an encounter card, which says, oh no, Green Goblin attacks the hero with the fewest remaining hit points. He's going to attack me for 4, 5, 6, 7 because of that. He deals 7 damage to us. Thank God for the endurance we have. Anyway, that means it is our turn to play again. So let's just... These are removed now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use Finesse to play Contaminant Immunity. Heal 3 damage from Spider-Woman. And give her a tough status card. And then I'm going to play Honorary Avenger on Iron Man. So he gets +1 health, which means I can use him twice this turn. And he attacks for 3, you do for 3. Also played Contaminant Immunity, which means I have 1. If I could play 1 more card first, which I'm not going to. So what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna use Sense of Justice to play Inconspicuous. I can't pronounce it, okay? Stop bullying me. I mean, Shatner's not bullying me at all. I just think he's hilarious. But anyway, I can remove 3 threat from, but I'm just gonna remove the 1. It's mostly so I get the +1 buff there, so I have deal 2 damage now. And I'm gonna deal 2 damage. Then I am going to use Ronan. Deal 1 damage to Ronan. To which means he has 2 hit points left. To deal 3 damage to the villain. Which means we flip him to his next form, which is gonna be on the Green Goblin side, is my guess. This time he has 22 health. And he did 4 damage to each player. Which means our tough status card. Yeah, thank you, Anna. Anna says we're all sitting at home trying and failing, just hard at pronunciation. Yeah, but it's always like one word here and there. Like, otherwise it works well, but like it's just one word here and there that is terrible for you. Anyway, I'm tapping Iron Man to deal 3 damage to Green Goblin. And I use Sky Cycle to untap him, and I use his last health to deal 3 damage to Green Goblin. And that was that. I'm gonna untap everything now. And I'm going to drop to 5. 3, 4, 5. Okay. That is interesting. Anyway, villain phase. 1 threat on the main scheme. Green Goblin is going to attack us. He can pull a 3, which means it's going to be 8 damage. Actually, we have those 2 left. Ronan is actually going to body block that for us. Our allies are so kind to us, aren't they? And he's going to attack for 4, 5, 6 damage, which is goodbye, Ronan. I have really enjoyed having you in my team. It's the first time in a while we were totally alone, huh? Then we get our encounter card. Uncertain loyalties. You may flip to alter ego for. Either we put 3 threat on the main scheme, which is fine, or we exhaust Jessica Drew. We kinda don't want to do that. Actually. Not really, no. So we're gonna put 3 threats on the main scheme. Is what we're gonna do. We only have 1. And it has to reach... oops, sorry guys. It has to reach 11. So I think that's fine. But anyway, it is our turn. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with using both finesses to play pheromones. To stun and confuse an enemy, which means Green Goblin is stunned and confused. And yeah. And then I'm gonna spend 2 energy to play Ant-Man with 2 energy. With means he gets 2 hit points. And then he has 3 hit points thanks to team training. And then I'm throwing away Self-Propelled Glide and Self-Propelled Glide. And takes a damage to finally remove this Obedience Potion. Finally. I actually haven't counted this properly this turn. I played Ant-Man, which is 1. I played Pheromone, so I only have 1 now. But I still have 2 now because of that thing. So I'm gonna punch him for 2. Which means our phase is done. So let's untap everything. Let's draw up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, skills. And that should be downtime, Yondu, genius, self-propel glide, and multitasking. That's a great, that's a really, 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 really good hand. So that means they're gonna screw us over. Anyway, 1 threat on the main scheme, which brings that one to a 5. We go on twice attack, but he is stunned. We get an encounter card, which is Crystal Ball, which is gonna have 5. The player who defeats the scheme may play a card from their hand, reducing its resource cost by 3. You say that, huh? That makes me... I mean, that's just gonna make it a little bit better. Great. Thank you, Crystal Ball. Anyway, I'm gonna use Sense of Justice to use multitasking. Remove 2 threat from a scheme. If you pay for this card using a mental resource, which I did, remove 2 threat from a different scheme. So that's 2 threat from there, and 2 threat from there. And that's a yellow card, which means I get to have that. Then I might actually not use that this turn, but it's nice to have it as an option. I'm going to use Finesse and Finesse, play Genius, to finally get out Yondu. And I played Yondu, and first I play that, so it means I have 2, which means I have 3, 3, 3. I'll hit him for 3. I have Yondu hitting him for 1. I have Ant-Man hitting him for 2. Only Ant-Man takes the damage. I'm throwing away downtime to use self-propelled glide, which means ready Spider-Woman. And she gets aerial trait, which doesn't really matter, which means I can punch him for 3 again. He's down to 5 health, guys. So let's get this up, untap everything. Oops. Which means we're gonna shuffle. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We get a face down encounter card. Since we're so close to killing him, it's probably going to be bad. Sky-Skull Venom Blast. Well, we have a kill on him in hand with Venom Blast. We had it out here as well, but that means I can actually body block with Ant-Man, which is fine. So which means I'm going to take... well, first of all, let's do this. He is actually going to attack, right? 1 threat on the main scheme. He's gonna attack. I'm gonna body block with Ant-Man. He has 4, 5, 6, and remove 1 State of Madness counter. It's if we can keep him from flipping, that is. But that is 6 damage on poor Ant-Man who died. He just came here and just wanted to fight. And then I get my second encounter card. So I start with the first one, which is Oscorp Manufacturing. Place an additional... Oh, when revealed, Norman Osborn. So it would be an additional threat player here if it was Osborn's side. But that's probably fine. Actually, that means there should be 1 more threat on the main scheme, because I forgot that Crystal Ball has that as well. And then the second one, Payoff. Which means we get to draw another card. Which is... choose to either give the villain 1 face down boost card or place 2 infinite count on the criminal. I mean, he's gonna have to take a face down boost card. But that's fine. Which means we are gonna use Finesse and Finesse to use Venom Blast to deal 5 damage to the villain. And that is a victory. That was the fastest stream we have done. I mean, there's no point in doing another game of some, because it's going to be annoying to... Because you don't want to do another try on him, and it's going to be annoying to take everything out, so that's going to be the end of it. But for the people... For people, I have promised you something when I win. But first, before that, we're actually gonna do a thing that some of you who weren't here last week haven't seen, actually. And that is this one I have. This is where I mark what we have won. The first stream we ever did, we won with Hawkeye versus the Collector. Last week, we won with Spider-Man versus Kang. And this week, we're gonna find... There we have Spider-Woman. And E is this one, because it's the normal Osman picture. That's the other Mutual Formula one. E down to there. And I'm just gonna fill it. I'm gonna find a way to do it, but I'm gonna fill it with yellow so far, and I'm actually gonna... I'm gonna fix later, so it has blue in it as well. But I'm gonna fix that later. So that's great! And if you guys just give me a minute to get Lucifer and everything, so I'll be right back. I'm just gonna put you on the pause screen so far, and I'll be right back to show Lucifer. Be right back. Hi. Lucifer, don't. Hi, I'm just gonna. Hey. Say hi, Lucifer. See, there you. There you are. Okay, you don't want to be here, right? But the chat wants you, Lucifer. Chat wants you. Hey, let's. Hey. So this is Lucifer. He's a little bit energetic. Because he's been resting there the entire stream. Do you have something in your eye? But yeah. Yeah, he is floof. But yeah. See, everyone is saying so nice things to you. People are calling you cute. Saying kitty, kitty, kitty. Saying floof, because you know you are floof. You look mad at me, huh? Yeah. So yeah. See, they call you 10 out of 10. Anyway, thank you all for this week's game. It was really fun. I'm sure I got a rule here and there wrong, but that happens. Please comment it below if that's the case. And you got to see Lucifer as a victory prize. And yeah. And as I said, I'm thinking about starting doing some videos about Arkham Horror. The card game, right? Arkham Horror, the card game. So yeah, we'll see about that. But yeah, he looks so offended, I know. But yeah, so that's that should be coming very shortly. But that's probably gonna be videos instead of live streams. But yeah, so thank you all for this live stream. I had a blast. It was the fastest one yet. But Spider-Woman is a great, fun character to play. You can do those synergies that are not as common between two aspects. So yeah, that was great. Next week is live streaming as usual. And then the week after that, I'm away at least for 1 week. Maybe up to 3, but probably just 1. After that break, I'm coming back with the Agent Venom pack. So yeah, thank you all for today's streams. I had a blast and I hope you did as well. Bye!